It was a matter of life and death. 4.4 million years ago, our ancestors faced extinction every single night. Predators ruled the darkness, cold killed the weak, and raw meat spread disease. Then one desperate moment changed the course of human evolution forever. Picture Earth 4.4 million years ago, a world where darkness meant death. Our early ancestors, the Australopithecus anamensis, huddled together as the sun disappeared, knowing that nightfall brought terror. Lions, hyenas, and saber-toothed cats owned the night, their eyes glowing like demons in the blackness. These early humans had no weapons, no shelters, no fire. They possessed only their wits and an unbreakable will to survive. Every sunset was a countdown to potential extinction, and every sunrise was a miracle they had lived to see another day. The predators of 4.4 million years ago were nightmare creatures. Massive cave bears stood over 10 feet tall, while pack-hunting hyenas the size of modern lions stalked anything that moved. These beasts ruled the darkness completely, using night as their hunting ground. Our ancestors learned to recognize the sounds of approaching death, the soft padding of leopard paws, the bone-chilling laugh of hyenas, the deep growl that meant a saber-tooth had caught their scent. Sleep was impossible. Survival meant staying awake and alert until dawn. But predators weren't the only threat. The African climate 4.4 million years ago was harsh and unpredictable. Sudden temperature drops could kill entire families overnight, especially the young and elderly who couldn't generate enough body heat to survive. Without fire, our ancestors had no defense against the cold. They pressed their bodies together, sharing whatever warmth they could generate. Many didn't survive the coldest nights, their frozen bodies serving as grim reminders of nature's merciless power. Raw meat was another silent killer. Our ancestors had to eat fresh kills quickly before they rotted, but uncooked meat carried parasites, bacteria, and diseases that claimed countless lives. Their primitive digestive systems struggled with tough, fibrous raw meat. Without fire to cook their food, infections spread rapidly through groups. A simple meal could become a death sentence, and there was no way to preserve meat for lean times. Starvation and disease worked hand in hand to thin their numbers. Then came that fateful night that would change everything. A small group of early humans found themselves trapped on an open savanna during a massive thunderstorm. Lightning struck a nearby acacia tree, setting it ablaze with tremendous force and light. As the flames roared to life, something extraordinary happened. The predators that had been circling their group suddenly retreated, their eyes reflecting fear instead of hunger. For the first time in their lives, our ancestors witnessed something that could make the night hunters afraid. The group watched in stunned silence as the massive predators retreated into the darkness, their fearsome growls fading into the distance. For generations, these creatures had been unstoppable forces of death, but now they fled from something the humans had never seen before, controlled light that pushed back the absolute darkness. The female stood transfixed, still holding the burning branch, as she realized they had discovered something that could challenge the very rulers of the night. The dancing flames cast long shadows that moved like living things, and for the first time in their evolutionary history, the night held promise instead of certain death. One brave female, driven by desperation and curiosity, slowly approached the burning tree. The heat hit her face like a physical force, but she noticed something incredible. The warmth felt like the sun, but stronger and more focused. Her companions watched in terror as she reached toward the flames. They had only seen fire as a destroyer, consuming forests, killing animals, leaving ash in its wake. The idea of getting close to it seemed like madness, yet her courage would spark humanity's greatest discovery. The female grabbed a burning branch, crying out as the heat singed her palm. But instead of dropping it immediately, she held on, mesmerized by the dancing flames. This small stick contained the power that had made the great predators flee. She carried the burning branch back to her group, and they gathered around this miraculous light source. For the first time in their evolutionary history, early humans had stolen fire from nature itself, though they didn't yet understand what they had accomplished. Learning to control fire proved more dangerous than they had imagined. The female's first attempts to carry the flame resulted in burned fingers and singed hair. When she moved too quickly, the branch went out completely, plunging them back into terrifying darkness with predators still lurking nearby. Through trial and painful error, they discovered the delicate balance fire demanded. They learned to move slowly, to shield the flame from wind, and to always have backup burning material ready. Each small success built their confidence, but each failure reminded them how fragile their newfound power truly was. That night, something unprecedented happened. The group slept peacefully as the fire burned beside them, keeping the predators at bay. The yellow glow created a circle of safety in the hostile darkness, transforming night from enemy to ally. They discovered that feeding the fire with dry wood kept it alive longer. When morning came, they had survived a night without losing a single member to predators, something that had never happened before in their dangerous world. Days later, they made an accidental discovery that would revolutionize their nutrition. A piece of raw meat fell into the fire, and when they retrieved it, they found the cooked flesh was easier to chew, tasted better, and didn't make them sick. This cooked meat provided more energy and nutrients than raw flesh ever could. Their bodies could digest it more efficiently, giving them strength they had never experienced. The fire wasn't just protection, it was transforming their very ability to survive and thrive. The transformation in their bodies was remarkable. Within weeks of eating cooked meat regularly, the group noticed dramatic changes. Their muscles grew stronger, their endurance increased, and most surprisingly, their minds seemed sharper. The extra energy from easily digested cooked food was fueling not just their bodies, but their brains. They began experimenting with cooking different foods, roots, tubers, and even insects. Each new discovery expanded their diet and nutrition. The elderly members who had struggled with tough raw meat now thrived on tender cooked food. Children grew faster and stronger than any previous generation, setting the stage for humanity's greatest evolutionary leap. Over the following months, this small group learned to maintain their fire constantly. They discovered which materials burned best, how to transport burning embers safely, and how to restart fire when it died out during heavy rains. They learned to create fire breaks to prevent wildfires, and how to use smoke to preserve meat for longer periods. Each generation passed down new fire techniques, building a knowledge base that would separate humans from all other species forever. The most profound change was happening inside their heads. The nutritional boost from cooked food was literally expanding their brain capacity. They began solving problems that had seemed impossible before, like predicting weather patterns, remembering complex tool-making sequences, and planning hunt days in advance. Around the fire, they started creating the first abstract concepts. They drew symbols in the dirt to represent different animals, seasons, and even emotions. Their vocabulary expanded rapidly as they developed words for complex ideas. The fire that had saved their bodies was now transforming their minds, creating the foundation for human intelligence as we know it. Fire changed everything about human development. The extra nutrition from cooked food fueled larger brain growth. The safety of fire-protected camps allowed for longer sleep, better rest, and more energy for innovation and tool-making during daylight hours. Social structures evolved around the fire circle. Groups could grow larger because fire protection made survival more likely. Language developed as humans gathered around fires, sharing knowledge about fire maintenance, cooking techniques, and hunting strategies. Fire became the center of human civilization. The mastery of fire 4.4 million years ago was humanity's first great technological revolution. It protected us from predators, cooked our food, preserved our meat, and gave us warmth against the cold. But most importantly, it gave us time to think, to plan, to innovate. That desperate moment when our ancestor first grabbed a burning branch didn't just save their group that night. It lit the torch that would guide our species from the darkness of mere survival into the dawn of human civilization. Every time you flip a light switch, start your car, or warm your home, you're using the same discovery that saved humanity 4.4 million years ago.